our 15 incorporated cities and the county of Fresno have invested billions of dollars in our local transportation infrastructure. That includes 6,536 miles of locally maintained streets and roads in the Fresno County region. Those streets and roads are equally split between urban and rural areas, and they endure just under 14 million miles traveled on them each day. Considering that the San Joaquin Valley is one of the fastest growing regions in the state, we can count on adding even more miles traveled in our local street and road network with increased wear and tear. A properly functioning, well-maintained local streets and roads system is absolutely critical for our region's safety and mobility, for the public, emergency responders, law enforcement, farm-to-market travel, and regional commerce. This includes new transportation technologies, like autonomous vehicles and pod cars. But here's where we stand in Fresno County, and the news isn't good. Engineers score the durability of our streets and roads using a linear scale from 1 to 100, known as the Pavement Conditions Index, or PCI. Today, the average PCI for California's streets and roads is 65. In Fresno County, it was 74 in 2008, but a decade later in 2018, it has fallen to 64. Engineers estimate it will drop another 11 points to 53 in the next 10 years. This is due to delayed maintenance, which increases the cost of repairs the longer we wait. Every dollar spent on road renovation today will save $4 to $6 10 years from now. So, who foots the bill for local street and road renovations? We do, through our local governments, the 15 cities and the county of Fresno. The county of Fresno is responsible for maintaining and repairing 59% of all local roads in our region. That 3,700-mile road network is our economic backbone for moving over $6 billion in agricultural goods and services. But the road network includes more than just pavement. Statewide, local bridge needs are estimated at $4.6 billion over the next decade. 48% of California's 12,000 bridges are owned and maintained by cities and counties. Plus sidewalks, curb ramps, storm drains, curb and gutter, street lights, signs and street markings, and retaining walls, all of which need to be maintained and funded. So, what should we do to meet this financial need? Senate Bill 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, was signed into law on April 28, 2017. This legislative package invests $54 billion over the next decade to fix roads, freeways, and bridges in communities across California, and puts more dollars towards transit, active transportation, and Measure C projects. These funds will be split equally between state and local investments, with 165 local Fresno County projects already identified for funding. Some of these projects include new or modified traffic signals, roadway rehabilitation or reconstruction in the cities of Clovis, Firebaugh, Fowler, Fresno, Herman, Mendota, San Joaquin, Sanger, and Selma. Sidewalks, curbs, or bikeways in Parlier, Sanger, Orange Cove, Mendota, Kingsburg, Huron, Fowler, and Kalinga. And 9 bridge replacements throughout the unincorporated areas of Fresno County. Last year alone, 58 local Fresno County transportation projects received $47 million in SB1 Local Streets and Roads Program funding. This year, Fresno and Clovis are receiving more than $11 million for transportation projects. The County of Fresno is receiving over $18 million SB1 dollars. Our West Side cities will be making more than $1.1 million in local transportation improvements, while the East Side cities will spend $2.1 million in SB1 funding on needed investments. The average monthly cost to each motorist for these investments is calculated at $10 per month. And thanks to Proposition 69, passed by the voters in June 2018, the legislature is prohibited from ever using that funding for anything else. A study by the American Road and Transportation Builders Association determined that SB1 investments will produce an overall savings of $600 to $1,550 per motorist per year due to reduced congestion. And that the transportation investment enacted under Senate Bill 1 will support at least $182.6 billion in increased economic activity and benefits for California residents and businesses over the next 10 years, creating nearly 70,000 jobs. Under SB1, the Fresno County region stands to bring in more than $80 million annually for its local streets, roads, transit, bicycle, and pedestrian paths and sidewalks. SB1 doesn't solve the entire problem, but it does help our region keep its infrastructure needs met longer.